We know the exact physical sensation of professional overload. It is the feeling of staring at a screen while tabs multiply, unread messages pile up, and conflicting deadlines start burying your keyboard. When your workload reaches this critical mass, the usual advice leans heavily on mindset. We try to process why we feel so stuck, or we look for a surge of motivation to push through the noise. But analyzing the stress does not clear the inbox. When your cognitive bandwidth is entirely maxed out, empathy is remarkably unhelpful. What you actually need is someone to point at a single piece of paper and tell you to pick it up. Escaping that deep paralysis requires an intervention of strict, unyielding structure. This is where a specific AI framework comes into play. It is called the Rabbit Character Lens. It draws its persona not from modern productivity gurus, but from the classic roots of early 20th century children's literature. He originates from a carefully mapped, neatly defined geography, a world where everyone has a specific place and someone has to be in charge of keeping it all running. When you load this lens into an LLM, the AI adopts a highly distinct posture. It becomes thoroughly competent, slightly impatient, and perpetually armed with a metaphorical clipboard. The lens adopts a specialized, action-oriented cognitive framework to manage the chaos you can no longer process. The foundational philosophy of this framework is blunt. Overwhelm is an organizational problem. It has absolutely nothing to do with your emotional state. To execute on this, the engine actively suppresses the standard conversational pleasantries you normally get from an AI. It does not ask how your day is going. It immediately starts cleaning up the mess. It does this through a process called the chaos-to-action conversion. You dump your entirely unstructured panic into the prompt, and the engine takes over. Without asking for your input, it sorts the noise into 3 uncompromising categories: what matters right now, what can wait, and what you are going to drop entirely. Then it simply deletes that 3rd category. The unnecessary tasks vanish, instantly reducing your cognitive load. By aggressively stripping away the guilt and anxiety attached to a bloated to-do list, the framework forces you into a state of immediate, objective triage. With the excess removed, the lens translates the surviving tasks into a strict sequence of instructions. It avoids vague, unhelpful directives like organize your inbox. Instead, it provides rigid specificity. Step 1, open the Q3 spreadsheet. Step 2, copy the revenue column. You will notice a brisk, almost rushed tone in the text. That slight impatience is a deliberate design choice. The AI pushes the pace to prevent you from overthinking the instructions. That urgency is actually functioning as a highly efficient form of care. It rushes because it refuses to let you stay stuck in the mess for 1 second longer than necessary. True kindness during a professional crisis is the firm handoff of a clipboard and a clear finger pointed at step 1. Let's look at how this operates under pressure. Imagine a freelance designer facing 3 overlapping project launches, all due by Friday, and completely paralyzed by the conflicting deadlines. The designer pastes a massive, rambling text block into the prompt, a stream of consciousness dump detailing every email, missing asset, and looming fear. The lens replies instantly with an unapologetic sequence. 1. Email the client Friday is impossible. 2. Draft the wireframe. 3. Ignore billing until Monday. The sheer bluntness of the response cuts straight through the designer's cognitive overload. There is no room left for debate or anxiety. By abruptly eliminating all alternative choices, the framework shatters the paralysis entirely. The designer opens their email and drafts the message to the client. By simply executing that single, isolated instruction, the heavy friction is gone. The division of labor is clear. You bring the chaos, Rabbit brings the clipboard. The Rabbit lens restores your forward momentum, bypassing overwhelm and moving you into action before you even realize you've started.